Welcome back to YCS Bochum 2015. Some of you guys have complained yesterday when I said we'll be right back because it wasn't right back.
Yeah.
It took a little bit longer. Today that is 100% true because with just 256 players remaining in the field, breaks are bound to get a lot shorter.
Shorter and shorter.
Yeah, and I don't mind for one.
No, we get more Yu-Gi-Oh action.
Yes.
Yes.
And in this round, we're going to have another rogue deck because the field is wide open.
Yes.
You told me something. It is.
It's sorry.
Time to get.
Oh, it's time to get your game on. We're playing E-Heroes. It's time to get your game on.
Right. And Jacob Mallender is the person who's ready to get his game on with the hero archetype. And some of you already pointed that out in the Twitch chat. They are wreaking havoc on the Tellarknights.
Yes, they are incredibly good. I mean, the fact that they can run Macrocosmos on legs that stops you searching as well is kind of ridiculous. I mean, Deneb doesn't then do anything, Altair doesn't do anything,
Yeah.
and then Onokar High doesn't do anything. So, yeah.
Pretty tough position.
Shuts down most of the monsters.
His opponent, Alexander Schmidt from Germany. So at least he's got the hometown advantage working for him here. He is running a pretty straightforward build of the Tellarknight archetype, I would say.
Yeah.
So this is also something, you're building a deck that is positioned to do well against Necros most of the time.
Most of the time. I mean, he's maining Chaos Trap holes for the mirror as well as against that.
Okay, and now you're running up against another rogue deck. Well, what is happening there? Like, what do you do with your deck then?
I'll be honest with you, I'm looking at what he's running, and he doesn't really have any counters whatsoever to E-Heroes.
Okay.
So he's not in for a massively good time. I think it's going to be a case of the best way to counter his opponent's deck is to win.
Rob is just saying that because Jacob Mallender is from the UK. I'm, of course, rooting for the German guy. Alexander Schmidt is going to take it down.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh.
All right,
okay.
We're going to have a side bet as soon as we're going off the stream. And then we're going to see. All right. So, other stories of the weekend, of course, Necros is the blue elephant in the room.
Yes,
still
it is.
Just like Prague. But we have
Big
seen
blue.
a lot of other decks showing them what they can do, especially Shadows have been very strong every time they have been on the stream.
Shadow, Infernoid.
Inferno as well.
Mecha Phantom Beast.
Mecha Phantom Beast,
Mecha Phantom Beast.
In case you didn't watch this, you can, of course, check out all of the coverage by clicking on the channel name, the official Yu-Gi-Oh channel, and then there's a section called Past Broadcast where you can see everything that we recorded yesterday. So if you ever get bored, there's more than enough material to spend your whole Sunday watching dueling action from Prague, from here, London last year, Milan last year, and the list goes on.
Yep. So if you're at work over the weekend, I do feel sorry for you. We are also at work. We can empathise. But if you don't want to get caught watching Twitch and get fired, you know, you can watch the past broadcast.
You can watch it at home.
Yeah, yeah.
And
don't risk
also,
your job.
some of you guys are, it's called hedonic adaptation. People adapt to a new situation like very, very fast. The stream is not even 1 year old. We're getting closer to our anniversary.
We are.
Because the first time we've had it was at the European Championship 2014. Euros 2015 are coming up in just less than 2 months, in fact, in Dublin, Ireland, from the 3rd to the 5th of July. With that said, let's head over to the feature match table where these two guys are ready to get their game on. And the action will be underway in a second. As always, we're going to have the information about their cards on the right-hand side of the screen. This is Alexander Schmidt's hand with 2 copies of Mystical Space Typhoon, Finish Chain, Pot of Duality, and a Vega. And Jacob Mallender is kicking things off with a Smashing Ground.
He's hitting into
Summoner Monk. Yeah.
Summoner Monk is then going to special summon Shadow Mist, which is immediately then going to go and get a mass change.
There is a very, very long time ago, there was a discussion about Smashing Ground, how good the card is. And then somebody called it the Nether Death Draw. You can always do something with that card because there's always going to be a target on your opponent's side of the field. And I haven't seen it, even though it's a good card, of course. I haven't seen it in quite a while. And
not great against Ghost Trick.
So the opening play for Jacob Mallender, he's got a Vanity's Emptiness on his field. And the other face-down card, which is
Mask Change.
Mask Change. Oh, okay, there we go. This is his complete field.
Looking at Alexander Schmidt's hand. He is well prepared. He has 2 Mystical Space Typhoons. As soon as the turn started, however, Mass Change is going to turn that Shadow Mist into Dark Claw. And then I believe Shadow Mist actually gets its effect to be able to search the deck, put an elemental hero into the hand. Or a hero card. Hero monster.
So, and you're saying that Dark Claw is going to be a gigantic problem for Alexander Schmidt.
Yes, it's a huge problem for anyone, to be honest with you. Whenever you search your deck and add a card to your hand. No, sorry, just add a card to your hand. So this includes drawing outside of the draw phase. You have to banish. You can banish a card from your opponent's hand
Once per turn.
once per turn. Yeah.
But it just hit a MST, and that's very, very good.
Yeah. Well, MSD has
Oh,
been
so
banished
it was
due
activated.
to, yeah.
Yes, on
it was
the
activated on the Vanity's Emptiness and then got banished. Now, here comes the play, which we'd probably expect, which at this point would probably be either 101, Dark Xyz Rebellion Dragon if he's running it.
But, do you agree with the MST before going for the summon?
Yes, because then you're making sure that you're not getting solemn warninged or anything
Something
like that.
like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's the 101. Now, I'm actually enjoying Dark Xyz Rebellion Dragon over 101 in a lot of plays. Because nothing is too big if it has its attack halved.
So, Alexander Schmidt is left with just a Pot of Duality in hand. Sorry to cut you off there. This is his field with the Phoenix Chain and the Mystical Space Typhoon. And let's see what Jacob Mallender can do to fight back here.
He can set the Forbidden Lance, play the Neo Alias, special summon the Bubble Man, and then make his own rank 4. Unfortunately, the Fiendish Chain is on those plans.
So it's not looking absolutely excellent for him.
No. And he is actually setting the Forbidden Lance to be able to play the Bubble Man, so he won't be able to chain it to stop Fiendish Chain.
Because even if it's a quick play card, as soon as you set it, it's basically like a trap card. You can only activate it as soon as the next turn comes around.
Yeah.
All right. So you're saying this is looking good for the German?
At the moment. Because that's going to happen.
Steering back immediately. All right.
And if he detaches, he could be in for a very bad time. And there it is. And there goes the Fiendish Chain.
No surprise. So, talk about simplification. Both guys, after just 2 turns, left with 1 card on the field each, so to speak, because the Fiendish Chain is not going to do much from now on. There is the Pot of Duality. Can you make out those cards? There's a Call of the Haunted. There's a Trap Hole, Chaos Trap Hole. And on the left, it's a Torrential Tribute. Okay, wow. Okay, I don't need glasses. That's something. It seems like he's going for the Torrential Tribute. There we go. And those other 2 trap cards return to the deck. And Torrential Tribute, while it is a good card, just like most trap cards, a lot less effective if your opponent knows what
you're about to say,
yeah.
Especially when you don't really have anything else in your hand.
Yeah, so you can never go for something like, it's a trap! And your opponent's like, I know. Why are you so excited? All right, there's a double, but with coming out on top is Alexander Schmidt's 101 thanks to the material that it still had. And now he's got the Tellarknight Alpha and the Tribute in hand. He didn't set it.
Tribute? Yes, he has.
Oh, oh, the app is just a little bit behind. Okay.
Yeah.
I should trust my eyes more than my computer. Jacob Mallender, on the other hand, did draw into a Call of the Haunted. Is it going to be able to bring back the Dark Law?
I'm not too sure. I would have to read Dark Law.
Okay, let's bring up Dark Law for you guys. Dark Law says, must be special summoned with mask change and cannot be special summoned by other ways.
So no, he will not be able to do that. But what he can do is target the...
The Bubble Man?
No.
Oh, no. Well, it would be an option.
It would be an option, but he'd be targeting the Shadow Mist. Shadow Mist would then go and get a Mass Change. Mass Change would turn into... Turn it straight up into a...
Another Dark Law,
yeah,
maybe.
he's just got a emergency call, I believe. Call of the Haunted, targeting Shadow Mist.
This is happening at the end of Alexander's turn.
I believe so.
Yeah. All right. So Jacob Mallender falling to 4,400 life points. And Alexander Schmidt's got total control almost.
Not necessarily. It doesn't look great on the surface of it for Jacob, but he does have plays. As soon as Shadow Mist comes out, its effect is going to activate. He is going to be able to go and get his mass change, and then he has an emergency call to be able to basically resolve it. So he is going to be able to do quite a bit this turn.
All right, let's see it. There is the Dark Mist.
Fortunately, it depends what he decides to then attack with the Dark Claw. Is he going to try and torrential that? No, he's not. There would be no point. He's going to wait for the Dark Claw. And at that point, Alexander has the upper hand.
And we're just being fed some information that there's a Volcanic and Heroes player in the field currently on table 12. And I think he did extremely well at the German National Championship before. I think he was runner-up, Lars Junginger. Some of you might remember that name. All right. So, but back to our game at hand on the feature match table. So we got the mask change and emergency call in Jacob Mallender's hand. And the name of the emergency call never was so fitting. He is in a dire situation.
He is.
He's setting both of them and passing play.
Now, is he going to do it during... No, he knows his opponent has a torrential.
Right.
So he's just waiting it out. He's waiting for his opponent to start making a move and then forcing him to have to play the torrential.
But mask change is a quick play spell card.
Yep, so as soon as his opponent would summon, then he would hit mass change. And then go, you're kind of going to have to torrential my monster, or else.
But he could have activated emergency call, chain the mask change, and deny his opponent the chance to activate torrential tribute.
This is true, he would have missed timing.
And would have that been a good play?
Yes, because then he basically... well, no, because then his opponent would have just been able to play a monster and torrential, get rid of it.
All right, so not that amazing.
He's really has to play around this torrential. He has to make it so that it benefits himself as well as basically it benefits himself. He doesn't want. It's going to hurt him, but he wants it to hurt his opponent as well.
Yeah. This is going to hurt me, but it's going to hurt you a lot more.
Yeah.
This is the idea here. Okay, let's see. Alexander Schmidt, Scott, Altair, Unukalhai, Deneb. Again, lots and lots of monsters. And as you pointed out in the previous game, they don't mind that.
No. Now, so here's Unukalhai. He would be able to chain mass change at this point to make sure that Unukalhai's target would be banished.
What would you do?
Would it then miss timing at that point?
Unukalhai says what? It says send something to the graveyard.
Yeah, I mean torrential. If he was to then chain mass change to the effect of Unukalhai. No, because then it would resolve backwards. Yeah.
Yeah, it would miss timing. Because the last thing to happen is not the summon of a monster. It would be a card is being sent to the graveyard. And I guess that Jacob is aware of that. Alexander possibly so as well. So there somebody ends up banished. There was... I don't think that was a Deneb. And now he can just go for a different special summon. And I guess that's an even better option than using the Torrential Tribute.
Yeah, because now he still has it.
Yeah, he still got the Silent Honor arc. So, getting rid of that Dark Law.
There's a Shed Ride.
Ooh, Shed Ride.
Jacob is not in a good place.
Yes, just as I predicted.
Here's the call.
And what is he going for now?
He only has 2 targets, which is Bullet Man of Shadow Mist, because Neos Alias has been used.
And are you going for a different Shadow Mist now?
Shadow Mist only really works when it's special summoned. And Bubble Man is doing nothing but just being able to be special summoned.
So are you saying that this game is basically over?
Not necessarily.
Okay. You're not a killjoy.
There's not enough attack on the field to be able to just end it, although Altair and Deneb will try to do so.
Okay, so there's the Bubble Man. And it's back to Alexander Schmidt. Checks his
Now,
graveyard.
he could be taunting and saying, I have another mass change, so don't try summoning things, but it doesn't work. And Deneb is going to hit the field.
Yeah. Also, does it really
Shared Ride.
affect his opponent's play?
If there was going to be a mass change, yes.
Okay.
Because I believe Acid would be the one that he'd be able to go for with this. I'm not quite sure of Acid's attack, but if it was pretty big, he'd have to do an out to it.
Masked Hero Acid. 2600 attack.
Yeah.
And when it's special summoned, destroy all spell and trap cards your opponent controls.
And then all of his opponents wants to lose 300 attack.
Not too bad.
It is quite nasty.
So there's a little swing, and Jacob Mallender now really sitting with his back against the wall. He did draw into a Forbidden Lands thanks to that shared ride. And the second card that immediately went face down, we don't know what it was yet. But is there anything in his deck that can... He does play a Mirror Force.
He does.
Oh, he drew into a second shared ride.
Yeah, but that's kind of the game over at this point.
There's a switch to attack position. No fear of
Swing,
Mirror
swing.
Force. And this should be it.
1,500, 4,600, 3,600.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
All
Forbidden
right.
Lance just wasn't enough to save him.
All right. So much for the first game. Even though Tellarknights don't stand a chance against Heroes, they somehow took the first game.
Yeah, and it's because he played around Darklaw quite well. Darklaw with the Vanity's Emptiness would have been fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Would have definitely won him the game. But Alexander had the Mystical Space Typhoon to get rid of it.
Right.
Without the Mystical Space Typhoon, Jacob
Different story.
would have won that game.
All right. So what about the second game? What are these guys going to be introducing here?
Well, Alexander's probably going to be bringing in a Max C because that E-Hero is basically just special summons. Although it's massed heroes as well. Mirror of the Ice Barrier. That's kind of nasty. As Darklaw banishes everything.
So Mirror of the Ice Barrier is actually not that bad just against Necros. It can also come in handy against the Heroes.
Yep. Chaos Trap Hole isn't massively helping. There's only Elemental Hero Neos Alias.
He's also got a Thunder King, which is actually... No, it's not that good because, again, Mask Change does use the chain.
It would stop Bubble Man's
Special
Inherent Summon. That's it.
Doesn't sound like a reason to play it. Okay, Shadow Imprisoning Mirror not going to do much.
Soul Drain would hurt because then you wouldn't get Shadow Mists affecting the graveyard to search for other elemental heroes.
All right, what about Jacob? What does he have to
He
further improve this supposedly easy matchup?
He would probably side in Evil Swarm Excited Knight into the extra deck. He has Max C's. Max C's will definitely see play. Curse Seal of the Forbidden Spell, which is a nasty, nasty card. There isn't much that he could use it against other than Pot of Duality would probably be one of the ones that you really don't want played. And Mind Crush is definitely a nasty card. White Tap, unfortunately, being kind of useless in this situation, as it's a spell card. Mass Change. There's Mass Change, Mass Charge, and Mass Change 2. Interestingly, Jacob doesn't actually play Mass Change 2.
So much for that strategy then.
Well, when all of your monsters are elemental heroes that you want to be using it with, Mass Change is completely fine.
So you expect Jacob to take the second game, right?
It wouldn't be out of the ordinary.
Okay.
Now that he understands what his opponent's playing and how he's playing.
Also, if you guys do not want to watch these guys side decking, even though I think it's quite exciting, you can of course check out the written coverage where we got all the stats that we showed you yesterday, like the deck breakdown, where Necros is the second most popular deck after other decks, like the other category, which is every deck that has been played less than 30 times. And if you add them all up, you get 262 decks, which is quite something. And then Necros with 260 in close pursuit, leading in front of Tellarknights with 149 and Shadow with 140, if I remember everything correctly. But you can look that up in the written coverage, just like the country breakdown. We got more than 700 Germans, almost 800, I think. And surprisingly, the Netherlands are the second most represented nation. I could look that up, but I think this is the first time this happened, indicating that the many duelists from Italy, France, the UK, and those other big European markets did not make the trip, or at least not in large numbers, because they are preparing for the national championships that will start already next week in Austria, for example, at least Austria. In the UK, I think it's in 3 weeks.
Yes. In Ireland, it's next weekend.
In Ireland as well. And if you happen to be in Ireland, good news for you, because as we pointed out, the Euros are going to be in Ireland for the first time ever. And it's going to be an exciting event. I've never been to Dublin.
Huge. You've never been to Dublin?
No.
It's fun.
It's fun?
It's a lot of fun.
Okay. Is it as much fun as Bochum?
Thereabouts. It depends where you go in Dublin.
Bochum has a really bad reputation.
There's a lot of touristy bits in Dublin. I mean, Temple Bar is one of the biggest ones.
Okay, well, we can't say the same about Bochum. Mostly you can watch, go to Bergbau Museum, is where they show you how they mined coal and other stuff, which is not that exciting, I think. All right. But we have been to exciting places like Prague earlier this year.
Yes, we have.
One of the most beautiful European cities, of course. All right. Did you catch any of the side decking here? Very hard to make out.
See, yeah, but we couldn't really see. They were doing it just off of camera for us.
All right. But it seems like Jacob is in a pretty good mood, despite that first setback. And Alexander Schmidt, also from the Heldenwelle in Magdeburg, the local store there. We've seen the owner of that store yesterday on our stream. Round 5 it was, Nino Zimmermann with Mecha Phantom Beasts, winning in spectacular fashion. Our play of the day.
Currently actually one of the favorites to win as well. He's doing incredibly well.
He went into day 2 with a 7-1 record, yes.
Yes. Ryan, Michael
Wichelo?
Yes, Michael Wichelo. And Thomas were all asking me to feature them again.
Oh, okay.
Because they wanted that game again. They enjoyed it so much.
Speaking of Michael Wichelo, have you heard about that cheating incident?
Sorry?
Yes. In fact, Michael Wichelo's hair is not as fluffy as everybody thinks.
Oh.
He spends 15 minutes every morning to make sure that he's looking that way to look good for the feature match area.
Oh.
So
it's not naturally fluffy.
The judges were calling cheating on him for that.
I hope that Ryan's sideburns are real.
I'm pretty certain
You're breaking my heart.
Okay, there's a mirror force in the hand of Jacob Mallender.
Hero lives.
And
Vanities,
is that
Mirror
a
Force,
maxi?
Rota, and I think that may be a Shadow Mist.
Okay. We're going to have those cards up on the app. There's the reinforcement of the army. There we go. This is Alexander's hand. 1 card missing, but we're going to have that in a second. And Goblindberg is the opening play for Jacob Mallender.
Goblindberg is actually going to special summon the Dark Mist. Shadow Mist, sorry.
Shadow Mist, yeah. There's the mask change. So everything revolves around Dark Mist a little bit. Is
yes,
that correct?
Shadow Mist is the card. He fetches all of your mass change cards.
All right. And 3 face downs. That is pretty good news.
It's
Mirror Force,
immediately mass
emptiness.
changing.
That's pretty good. And immediately going for that Dark Law. All right, let's bring up Alexander Schmidt's hand again.
And he has the Raigeki to get out of it.
And you don't mind playing the Raigeki that early here.
No, not to get rid of a Dark Claw.
And
2
good
Stellanova Alphas.
follow-ups here, yeah.
He has got an incredibly good hand.
Yeah, that Raigeki was actually like a 3-for-1 almost.
But he is also... Jacob is now also in a good position because there is no way of him getting rid of his Vanity's emptiness.
Yes. So, and with no Mystical Space Typhoon waiting in Alexander Schmidt's hand, just like we saw in the first game, there's a good chance that this card is going to stay face up on the field for a little while. And that will be good news.
So here comes Deneb to make sure that he can set up. Now, a hero lives halves your life points to special summon a elemental hero from your deck. So there is that. So Tellarknights Alpha will probably hit that, though.
So, the Vanity's Emptiness is no longer as threatening as we thought it might be because of Stellar Nova Alpha, of course.
That's correct, yeah.
Yep. So that is good news for the Tellarknights, for Alexander Schmidt's Tellarknights. And
But he may want to try and force a Stellar Nova Alpha with that many cards.
yeah, so he just want to remain that card advantage that he has there.
Yeah. So if he was to play what he's just done now, which is to
Summon a monk.
summon a monk, unfortunately, I believe he's going to be discarding the hero lives to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Or he could set the hero lives and
And-
special summon the Bubble Man, which is what he's doing.
Yep. And you're saying that's a better play?
Yes, because you don't want to get rid of a hero lives. It'd be nice to be able to play it after you've tried to force out a Stellar Nova Alpha.
And yeah, now we see the 2 Stellar Nova Alphas together with a Torrential Tribute. Lots and lots of back row for Alexander Schmidt. Yeah.
So let's see if he lets him. If he decides to play the Torrential Tribute now, he could have... Oh, he could be having a bad time now. What can now happen is there's no Tellarknight on the field.
Yeah, so
to be
no
able
Stellar Nova
no
Alpha.
Stellar Nova Alpha. And here's a hero lives, halving his life points, getting a Shadow Mist, making a mass change, making a new Dark Claw, and then sitting behind a Vanity's Emptiness.
Wow. And basically that's the same challenge that Jacob offered earlier in that match, with the big difference that Raigeki is now gone and Torrential Tribute is also gone. So,
From what I can see, he does side Dark
oh,
Hole. So
did you see that fanatic attack? He almost like put his hand out, extending it so far into Alexander Schmidt's field that that Dark Law almost connected with his face, I think. All right.
mass change during the draw phase.
So a minus wing. Alexander Schmidt now on 7,000 life points, and there is the Dark Law.
Now, our app hasn't quite updated because I'm pretty sure that Raigeki came out immediately. There's a TK
Yeah.
RO, so Raigeki isn't actually
Raigeki is
in the
not
hand
in the
there.
hand. Yes. So Alexander Schmidt has to recover from this blow, and how is he going to do it?
Well, he's going to play an Altair, which is going to have a Vanity's Emptiness chain to it.
And there
Yeah.
goes the Raigeki from the hand. So Alexander Schmidt is
Can
now...
now do this to get rid of the Vanity's Emptiness. But both are now going to get banished. Oh no, he can't. He can't send it to the graveyard. We had this earlier, didn't we? We were talking about this.
Yes. You have to send the card to the graveyard. And Dark Law shuts down Stellar Nova Alpha. So you see
Just stepping in
Alexander
there
Schmidt's
quickly.
expression, yes. Just going with his hands over his head, and he's like, I'm
Oh.
in a very bad position.
Yes, and Jacob looks incredibly smug about it.
Yeah.
He is very happy of what's happening right now.
Absolutely, yeah. And not surprisingly. So they are just confirming life points, I
I believe
think.
he's just confirming just kind of what's happened.
And what he adds a wiretap, even more protection.
He's doing well. He is doing well. Unfortunately, I don't believe he's drawn Oh, Alexander has had to just pass. He can't do anything.
Right. So the Dark Law is connecting again and really picking the pieces apart for Alexander Schmidt, who now, he did run into another Stellanova Alpha. That really hurts.
Yeah. And he set the Stellanova Alpha. Doesn't set anything in defense, which would probably be a good idea. You're on very low life points there.
Yeah. I love Jacob's way of attacking, to be honest.
Where he just like throws the
Like,
card at
yeah.
somebody. Yeah. That's how UK players usually do it.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, we poke.
Okay. Look at that. And back to Alexander Schmidt. There's a Hero Lives
And a Maxi.
in a Maxi.
And Bubble
So
Man.
Jacob Mallender now in a very, very comfortable position. Alexander Schmidt just 5 life points remaining. 3 back row Stellanova Alphas. And
No
a
real way
Mind
of-
Crush.
Yeah, no real way of getting rid of anything.
And he just drew into a Fiendish Chain. Well, that is a lot more useful. However, there's a wiretap waiting for that Fiendish Chain. But
That was quite violent.
I can't get over it. It reminds me a lot of the Yu-Gi-Oh series.
Ooh, he probably shouldn't wiretap that.
Yeah, because he wants to keep the Vanity's Emptiness.
Definitely.
Okay. So, Jacob Mellender's hand. Hero Lives, Mind Crush, Bubble Man, Maxi. He does go for the wiretap.
Oh.
So he thinks that Dark Law is more important with its effects active
Yeah.
than Vanity's Emptiness.
Of course, because then the Stellanova Alpha's live.
So there we
There
go.
goes the emptiness.
Yeah, no mistake there. And there's a very good chance that Alexander Schmidt is not going to draw anything to protect his life points. There is the attack.
He has basically emptied his deck. Unfortunately, an Altair would get him back in the game. And he didn't get it.
Yeah, there's a Alexander Schmidt now drew into Vanity's Emptiness. And he was forced to set the Thunder King, which is not what you want to do with a Thunder King most of the time. And
Yeah,
that is
there is
it,
no way
yeah.
you can get around
So
this.
a good decision to activate the wiretap, go with the Dark Law instead of the Vanity's Emptiness. It was the game winner, definitely, in the
Yes.
second duel.
Though this is the whole idea behind the masked hero deck is bring out Dark Law, bring out Vanity's Emptiness, sit behind it. Win.
Right.
And with most decks searching so much, Dark Law wins games.
Yeah. And fortunately for Jacob, that Dark Law is going back into the extra deck, because that sleeve must be marked the way he attacks with it.
What's in the extra deck?
There
as
must
well?
be some fire burns or something on the back side
Just
of that Dark
friction
Law.
burns all over.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's probably why all of the UK players I know have to change their sleeves so often. Just
Yeah, we gotta talk
Oh.
to him about that. And that was the second game. This time, Heroes really going to town and wiping the floor with the Tellarknights.
Yes.
The first Dark Law wasn't enough. There was still a Raigeki that could deal with it. But once the Torrential Tribute was gone and the Raigeki was gone, and Jacob Mallender found a second Dark Law, the game was pretty much over.
Yeah, there is for maybe 10 ways of special summoning Shadow Mist and 7 ways of searching it
Yeah.
in the deck at the moment. So, yeah. It's really, really quite consistent.
And both guys not wasting a lot of time side decking. Do you think that they change anything?
Not really. There's no point at this point. If you'll have made your choices. I mean, we're at the level of play now where you know what you're going to be siding. And I'm pretty sure Jacob has played against a lot of tellers as he's come along to be into day 2.
Yeah. So do you think it was a misplay from Alexander's end to use the Torrential Tribute when he could have used the Stellanova Alpha
Yes.
to draw another card?
But that being said, Alexander isn't psychic and wouldn't have known that that was going to be a Hero Lives. I mean, a Hero Lives exists in the decks, so you can kind of be careful about it, but again, I would have waited until he started trying to drop either XE Monsters or a Dark Claw to play it.
All right. Well, but this is something that many of the guys that we interviewed this weekend said. You need to know your opponent's deck. It's absolutely crucial. Sometimes more so than knowing your opponent, really.
Potential Tribute is one of those cards that you kind of want to wait until your opponent's
Maximum effect.
Yeah. Used all of his resources to play it in Jacob's case, and then hit the Trenchal.
All right. So here we are, ready for the third and deciding duel. And keep in mind, both of these guys need to win to still have a shot at
Yes.
advancing to the top 32.
Yes, I believe they're on the bubble.
Yes, they have 2 losses each. There is a very small, slim chance that they make it with, I don't know, a draw or a loss, another loss. But I wouldn't put my money on it.
Well, at the end of the day, it's just because Jacob is getting his game on. That's what it is.
All right, there we go. Any cards you can make out here? There's an emergency call.
Emergency Call, Forbidden Lance. That looks like a wiretap.
In the meantime, we get Alexander's hand with Ryan on the right-hand side behind Alexander putting in those cards. An Altair, Fiendish Chain, Call of the Haunted. Third cards here. First 3 cards here. And Ryan is using the other technique of entering all cards first and then submitting.
I believe that that's a second wiretap. That is not a great hand. Is that a second Altair?
Pot of Duality, revealing a Dark Hole, Twister, and a Tellarknights.
Oh, he has the ability to mask change immediately.
That is Jacob.
Yeah.
So
Two wiretaps. Oh, he has a way of protecting his Dark Claw.
So it's not
Unfortunately,
bad.
he's not going first. If he was going first, that hand is immensely good.
All right, so let's see what Alexander Schmidt can muster up here. He starts with a MST Call and Fiendish Chain in his back row. He's got an Altair and a Dark Hole waiting in his hand.
Now the Dark Hole, he's waiting for Jacob to make some plays before he plays that Dark Hole.
And Jacob, not surprisingly, not going for the mask change immediately. He wants to have mask charge, by the way.
Oh, I thought that was mass change.
I think it's mask change.
So no, it is mass charge. He does run mass charge also.
Oh,
yes.
Okay, so that's a different card.
Yeah.
And so he wants to wait for that wiretaps to become active before making any moves. And a first poke.
Here's the Summoner Monk.
And back to Jacob, who finds the Summoner Monk. He's got a Breakthrough skill in hand and an Emergency Call.
Now, he's going to discard probably the Mask Charge, which unfortunately is then going to get Fiendish Chained. But there is a wiretap to protect that. Oh, he has a Forbidden Lance to protect his Dark Claw as well. I missed that.
Yes. Like you said, it's a pretty good hand. Just slightly worse when you go second. There is...
Oh, he's Forbidden Lancing the...
Summoner Monk.
Oh, interesting. He had the wiretap.
Well, he apparently wants to save the wiretap for another day. Is that... you agree with that play, or...
I would have used the wiretap on it.
Okay. But do you want your opponent to draw into it again, into the Fiendish Chain?
You have a second wiretap.
Yes, that is true. But
I mean, it's getting rid of the Fiendish Chain, but again, this is just the way that I would have done it.
Okay. Okay. So he's going for that all-important hero, which is now changing his mask and turning into a lot more formidable contender.
Yes.
What a little mask change can do for you.
Can you remind me of Mask Charge's effect?
Let's bring that up for you guys. I'll look it up also. You target a hero.
Add a charge in your graveyard. Add it.
Add both of them to your hand.
Okay.
It's a little bit.
That's pretty good.
It's like a little bit like a Gravekeeper's Stele.
Is that an Anki?
Yes, it is.
Ooh,
Indeed.
that is one of the ones that came out in Premium Gold. It's a new card. It can attack directly for half the attack.
So that would be 1/4, but he attacked over the Tellarknight Altair. And, whoa, 2,800
Yeah,
attack.
it's huge.
It's a big monster.
So any sort of stall deck that likes setting up a wall loses to Anki, because Anki is just dealing 1,400 a turn over and over again.
So
it also has another effect, I believe.
Yeah, it gives you a very nice out. It can, yeah, the attacking directly. When it destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard,
change.
you can add one change quick play spell card.
It is kind of ridiculous.
So, 2 MSTs for 2 wire taps. That's a fair trade. And why exactly did the Phoenix Chain leave the field?
Huh.
It seems like the whole back row blew up.
I'm pretty sure he chained. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Unless he played...
All right.
I am a little confused on to what just
There's a
happened there.
must hero Acid.
Oh, it was an... Oh, he...
Destroy a spell trap card.
Yeah, he mass... There's another mass change card, which... Form change. Form change changed it into another mass hero, so you use mass hero Acid to destroy the back row, which is a really good play.
And this is when the MSTs got chained to destroy the wire tap. So this heavy storm is called Masked Hero Acid. Heavy storm on legs. Dark Hole now bringing Alexander Schmidt back into the game seemingly, but
well, Alexander doesn't have any cards.
Exactly, he's got nothing to follow it up.
So here we see this is again Jacob basically winning, and this is what really the Hero Strike structure deck brought to the game. Is some ridiculous combos, some ridiculous monsters, and ridiculously easy to bring out.
Yeah, you got a 2,800 beat stick that can attack directly. So if your opponent is walling and stalling, you're like, okay, I can still deal damage.
Now
and
he does have another Dark Hole in hand. Alexander does.
All right, but and if he or the app might not be up to date, I'm not sure. Just from the side, it looked like he was out of cards completely. But in any case, you got so many tools to pick apart, attack your opponent from different directions.
Yeah, it's huge. And it's on 900 life points left. As you can see, this is just what it does.
Yeah.
He's getting his game on.
And
to the maximum degree.
There is the Masked Hero Dark Law that makes all the difference. So now we're going to find out there is the second Dark Law. Okay,
yeah.
There we go. So
what else did he draw into? Oh, reinforcements of the army, which is fine because there's a breakthrough skill.
Right, so otherwise Alexander Schmidt could have started comboing off and getting some field presence back. Well, his opponent Jacob has a Maxi and a Bubble Man in hand at the moment, which is not super impressive, to be honest.
Well, he can discard the Maxi, special summon the Bubble Man. If he draws into anything that gets him a monster, he's in a really good position to basically win. Mass change. Yep, there, that's it. Game. Boom.
He draws
Boom.
into a mass change from the top of his deck. Wow.
Wow.
Talk about the top decks here. And excellent finish for Jacob Mallender, who turned it around. So the German lost. UK guy won. I'm salty.
Represent.
Rob is happy. But no, I got to give it up to Jacob Mallender. Excellent showing. Showing us, in fact, what the heroes are capable of.
Definitely.
And no questions asked after that match. We saw Dark Law is a force to be reckoned with.
Oh, yeah, it always has been. It won Prague. Like, Dark Law on its own won Prague. It was meant to be Burning Abyss, but then Dark Law came out.
Yeah.
And then it was Dark Law one.
And then we had Anki as well. Very good card.
Yes, Anki. Anki annoys me, but only because I like to play decks that stop people attacking, and then Anki comes out and just attacks directly over and over again. So,
and also attacking over a monster allows you to search for yet another change card, which was that important because he finds form change. And that allowed him to bring out Acid.
Yes, and Acid is
a heavy storm.
Acid is a heavy storm.
No, it's actually a Harpious Feather
Duster. No, it's a
Duster.
Harpious Feather Duster, yes. And it makes all of your opponent's monsters lose 300 attack when you do it as well.
That on top of the other effects.
It's ridiculous.
So, how can you summon Acid? You just need the form change, or you need something in particular?
No, it's mass change. Mass change basically will summon a monster of the same attribute that's the level higher.
So
you use Bubble Man to bring it out usually, but form change also will work for you.
Okay. Well, good combos. Anything in particular that you want to point out that you found surprising in that deck list?
It feels very, very simple. Just ask him about smashing ground, because that's always fun to talk about.
And what about those Trap Tricks, Trap Hole Nightmare?
Trap Trick, Trap Hole Nightmare is one of those cards that has been played since Hat format. It's a really, really good card, and against Necros, it's kind of ridiculous.
But we haven't seen it all weekend. It's the first time we see it. So
Yeah, it's because there are better trap holes. Ones
okay.
that will give you more of an advantage. Bottomless Trap Hole is a better one. I believe, Chaos Trap Hole, at the moment, everybody's playing that because it actually negates a summon. This just negates the effect. So if your opponent goes, well, I'm going to summon Unicorn. Unicorn doesn't have an activated effect, so you're not going to get anything from
Doesn't do it, yeah.
etc., etc., etc.
So why run it then?
It gets around Trishula.
So
Very
that is most likely the card that is dealing most problems for him, really.
Yeah. As soon as Trishula comes out, because you're going to have cards in your graveyard, and on the field and in your hand with how this deck plays out. Generally, not so much in your hand if you're going for a Bubble Man play.
Right.
But
And what are your best matchups in your opinion with the heroes, apart from Tellarknights? Because that was
he's come through, and as we said, he's on the bubble, so he's only lost 2 games in 9 rounds.
Yeah, that was the 10th round.
Oh yeah, so
Not too bad. Yeah, very good showing. Very good showing from Jacob Mallender, representing the UK, who hasn't had a winner of a YCS in a while.
in a long, long time,
Yeah.
and it's about time.
YCS Brighton was. And in case you can hear
the
this,
crowd.
yeah, the crowd just saw this is our 5-minute delay that we have with the stream to make sure that everything runs smoothly with the technical equipment. Sometimes we need a little bit extra time, and the crowd just saw the finishing touch and went wild.
Yeah,
Seems to be a few guys from the UK over here.
there is quite a few.
Okay.
A lot of people travelled over.
All right. Well, we're going to take a very short break, and we're going to be right back with Jacob Mallender from our round 10 feature match.